All right, we have finally made it. We are 0 sleeps away from the 2025 NFL Draft. We are actually less than 12 hours away from the start. This way, we don't have to have any more mock drafts, no more speculation, no more guessing where the Baltimore Ravens are going to go, which direction they're going to head, or which position of need or best player available they are going to pick. We are finally here because I am truly tired of just trying to guess where this team is going to go. And I think that the direction that they go with this first round pick is going to kind of set the table for everything else that happens afterwards for the rest of the draft, for the rest of this weekend. And also which direction that the Ravens are going to go when it comes to this last wave of free agency. So we're going to talk about some draft stuff. We're going to talk about how some recent signings for some teams trying to free up some money and retain some of their players is going to affect the Ravens going forward. And we're just going to prepare and get ready for what's to come tonight. So make sure that you join us later tonight because myself and the rest of the Ravens Roundtable, Coach Evans, Chris Just Joking, and Lunch Break Hot Take, and give you that first round coverage that you didn't know you needed, but you're going to get it anyway. So make sure you guys tune in at 8 p.m. tonight. So when it comes to the first round of the NFL draft, there are going to be a lot of determinant factors that kind of play into effect on where the Ravens go with that first pick, the guys that may be available. And the first thing that's going to affect this is going to be the number of quarterbacks taken in the first round. Being when you draft at the back end, you want as many quarterbacks to go as possible because first round quarterbacks is something that the Ravens do not need. So as many of those slots as we can get filled, that leaves other players left for the Ravens to pick after. Now, when it comes to one of these quarterbacks, one of the more polarizing figures when it comes to college football is Shedeur Sanders, formerly of the Colorado Buffaloes. And this happens each and every year, and I don't know why this year it just happens to get up under my skin. Maybe it's because of the trolls. Maybe it's because of the people in the comment section that do the same thing when it comes to my videos, when it comes to people that I rock with videos. My thing is, if you're man enough to say it, be man enough to put your name on it. And when it comes to an NFL draft, when it comes to these kids and not just Shedeur, what's happening is you have these anonymous quotes, and like this anonymous quote from this NFL assistant stating that Shedeur had to be the worst formal interview he's ever been a part of in his life. Now, some of this could be draft strategy. Some of this could be just teams trying to get people to knock this guy down a peg so that they could draft him at a later spot. But now you're playing with guys' money. You're playing with people's livelihoods all so that you can get a pick. Now, some of this may be true. It may all be gamesmanship, but to me, I don't like it. And if you truly mean it, say it with your chest. Say it, put your name behind it. Say, listen, I don't like this guy. I think that he's entitled. I think he holds on to the football way too long. He takes too many sacks and he blames his teammates. Something that this NFL assistant said. And if you really believe all of these things, because it wasn't just like a quick comment like, yeah, I don't like him, I wouldn't draft him. You went into a whole soliloquy on why he's not a good player, why he's not going to be successful in the NFL. And if you have the time to say that, have the time to say, well, you know what? I'm the guy that said it. I'm the NFL assistant. And to me, if you have to resort to these type of games to get a draft pick, your organization probably is not good to begin with. If you have to resort or stoop to these type level things. If you don't believe that he's good and somebody asks you one thing, if you just unsolicited, just come out and just be like, yeah, let me give you my opinion on this guy. What's the purpose? What's the point? Why be anonymous? They used to do this with Lamar Jackson all the time. The guy said Lamar could win 12 straight MVPs and I still wouldn't think he was a good quarterback. Like, say who you are so we can address this and have a conversation like men instead of just jumping out there and just, hey, I don't like what you said somewhere. Oh, I don't like this guy. He's entitled. He's too boisterous. He has too much confidence. And I understand some men are threatened by other men that have too much confidence. They don't like it. And sometimes arrogance and cockiness can come forth the wrong way in certain situations. But me, as far as athletes go, I need a little confidence. I need a little cockiness, especially at the quarterback position, because these are the leaders of men. And when they look in that huddle and they look into his eyes, they have to know that there's a belief that this guy is going to lead them to a win. So they can miss me with all that nonsense. And with all that being said and done, before the draft, a lot of teams are making moves to sign some of their key players long-term, trying to free up some money so that they can make some moves to better their roster. The Detroit Lions have extended safety Kirby Joseph to an $84 million extension. And a lot of guys will say, well, why is that relevant to us? We are Baltimore Ravens fans. Well, it is relevant to us because now this affects what happens with Kyle Hamilton. And I told you guys before, they need to sign Kyle Hamilton to a long-term deal sooner rather than later because signings are going to keep happening. The price is going to go up. Luckily for us this time, the price only went up $500,000 per season. So Kirby Joseph is now the highest paid safety on average in the league, making $21.5 million per season. That is right now. So if you think about it, Kyle Hamilton has this year, and the Ravens have until next Thursday to give him his 5th-year option or not to, and that's 2 more years. So if they wait those 2 years, who knows who can get signed? Who knows how much this price tag is going to go up? And I think the Ravens got a little bit lucky on this one because Joseph, to me, could have commanded even more money. He could have, to my opinion, commanded $100 million contract for a safety. This man led the league last season with 9 interceptions. And I think in his career since he's been drafted in 2022, he has 21 interceptions at the safety position. There is a guy that creates turnovers, something that we don't see too much of in Baltimore. And last season, which is something I don't understand about the NFL, is Joseph was named an All-Pro but didn't receive a Pro Bowl invitation. It's crazy. This is why I don't believe people when they say, well, he's a Pro Bowler. It means nothing nowadays. This man is an All-Pro, but he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He led the league in interceptions. It is what it is. But as for the Baltimore Ravens, how this pans out will have an effect, maybe have a ripple effect on what happens to Kyle Hamilton. I know earlier this week, Hamilton said that, listen, I'm not worried about a contract. I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about playing football. And while this may be true, the thing that we have to look at is his agent is worried about money. His agent is not worried about football because his agent makes a percentage of the money that he makes. So the more money that Kyle Hamilton brings in, the higher their percentage for the agent. So Kyle doesn't have to worry about it. The agent is going to look into it, and he's taking note of each and every player that's getting signed. And he's going to say, well, listen, this guy got this much, but my client is 2 times better than he is. So we're going to ask for substantially more money. And each and every season that goes by, if Kyle Hamilton continues to be one of the best safeties in the NFL, he's going to command more money. So Baltimore, you're in a sticky wicket. You got a situation where you have to figure out, do we do it now or do we wait till later? Because we also have to take into account that Tyler Linderbaum, he's up for his 5th-year option as well, so they have until next Thursday. So with the Eagles re-signing center Cam Jurgens, that kind of set a parameter for what it might be to sign Tyler Linderbaum to an extension or a new contract. And that is a 4-year, $68 million deal that is on average $17 million. Now, the 5th-year option for Linderbaum is going to be between $23 to $25 million. So for the Ravens to get out of that, it would make more sense for them to give him a long-term deal. I don't think that the Ravens want to spend that type of money on Linderbaum, even though he's a key piece of this offensive line that is in a bit of flux right now. We don't really have a left guard. We have a right guard that's in the last year of his deal. So the Ravens really can't afford to let Linderbaum go, which I don't think that they will. But I don't think that they're going to give him his 5th-year option. They just have certain things like they could franchise tag him. I mean, there are so many things that they could do because Linderbaum still does have this next year under contract. But they only have a week to decide what they are going to do about his 5th-year option. So we have the draft this weekend. We have the 5th-year options coming up next week. Ravens have a lot of things that they need to do to get this roster where they need to be. And one step to helping the Ravens get this roster where they need to be starts with the draft. Please, please, please do not have me sit here later tonight because that has been a lot of speculation that a lot of people think the Ravens should trade back and get more picks. My God, they have 11 draft picks this year. DeCosta already said that it's going to be extremely hard for all 11 of those picks to make this team next season or this season. So why do we need even more picks just to waste to pick guys to bring them in and then have to cut them? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. All reports say the Ravens have an extremely talented roster. They have a Super Bowl roster right now. They only need a few depth pieces to get this team right. And if that is the case, why do we need 13 to 15 draft picks if we only need a few pieces? And this is the contradictory nature of Ravens publications that confuse me. You say we're ready. You say this is one of the strongest rosters in the NFL. We just need some backups here and there, maybe one starter there. But you're telling me now we need 13 to 15 picks? Then you say, hey, rounds 5, 6 through 7 are guys that aren't going to make a difference on the team, but yet and still you want us to make each and every one of those picks. I'm not getting it. So Baltimore, please, please, please do not trade back. If anything, you want to package those picks and trade up. Get guys who can play. I beg of you, get people who can play. And there's a guy in this year's draft who a lot of people are very high on. Me personally, I think he's decent, but at 27, I would not pick him. And I understand that college production doesn't always set the path for professional development. I get all of that. But my thing is, if you're at a Power 5 school on a very good defense and you can't get 5 sacks, I'm not expecting you to come to Baltimore and get double-digit sacks. I'm not expecting you to explode right away. And this is something that we need. We need a guy that can play right now. We need a guy that can get to the quarterback right now. We don't need a guy that can develop in 3 years or when his contract is about to be up and he's up for an extension or he's up for a new one, he balls out then. We need guys that can contribute tomorrow. So when the draft is over and he flies to Baltimore and does his interview, he can go in there and start tomorrow. We need that guy. I'm tired of the wait and see, he has so much potential type individuals. I'm tired of these projects. When are we going to stop drafting projects and start getting legitimate talent to help this team win now? So there's a guy in the draft I hope that the Ravens do not touch. And he may one day turn into an all-pro. He may turn into one of the greats. He may turn into a terror. But as of right now, this season coming up, and maybe even the next, I don't think that he's going to be that dude. So Baltimore, trade up and get that guy who's going to make a difference in the 2025 season. This is the only thing that I ask. But listen, we'll see. We'll find out. The draft is here. I am so excited. All I have to do now is get through work and the draft will be upon us. So hopefully I will see you guys then. But until then, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are aware when I come out with new videos. And let's go Ravens. As of right now, we are 10 hours and counting. Let's go.